We're
It's
back.
live. It's live.
Let's see. Oh yeah, we're live on YouTube also. Perfect. There's almost no lag. There we go. How's it going?
Good. How you been, man?
You know, not too bad. I'm back.
Another
Back
week
home.
down. Yeah, I can see you're in the homestead.
That's right. I'm back in the Iowa Gravel Gang cave. The temperature is just right down here.
Cracking open a cold one.
You know, I've been enjoying these things.
You still haven't left.
Oh,
I bought the way home.
I bought 4 cases, maybe 5. You know, so it's really good stuff. What's new on the East Coast?
Not too much. I did not get my bike yet.
What?
Yeah, it didn't show up yet. So
what? And I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Well, you know how bikes are. Sometimes I don't know.
What is this? The COVID demand?
No, it should be here probably this week.
Where is it shipping from? Is what I want to know. Jesus.
I don't know. I didn't ask. I don't know. She said she would order it, and then yeah, it just hasn't shown up yet. So no biggie. It'll be here.
I don't know about that, man. I don't trust it. You know.
No, I just did a ride this evening outside.
Yeah.
A little chilly. But
how far did you go?
20 miles.
20 miles.
Yeah. So it's a short ride, but long ride. It was one of those up that steep rocky hill and then did some up and down. And then I came back up over a mountain. So I think I probably had over 3,000 feet of climbing.
You know, we had that much. I was trying to get the chat going here. I got to figure out another situation for my chat. Because I can't see the chat very well. So how much feet of elevation did you say you got in there?
2743.
In how many miles?
20.
Okay, so I got you beat.
What'd you do?
Not today. 4 days ago, I did let's see. We did 26 miles, about 2,500 feet of climbing. So you got more climbing. But I tell you what. So we were over in what's that place? Let's see here. I'm getting
done in the Mark Twain
in the shut-ins. So when we talked to you, we just get in there on Sunday, and so we went out Monday. Yvonne made us a quick route, but we're supposed to do, I think, 28 miles or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just gonna be one of the sections was blocked off. It looked like a road, but it's private property.
Yeah.
You know, so that was a no-go. So we ended up cutting that section off. It was like 5 miles. But the roads there are absolutely dangerous.
Yeah.
Some of the worst roads
yeah,
I have ever ridden on in my life.
Yeah. You know, when Lindsay and I were down there, I saw there was a lot of trash on the road.
Yeah.
And they were windy and no shoulders. So if you're riding on the roads, good luck, pal.
Yeah, like seriously.
Yeah.
Like seriously, I was in that boat and the semis there just don't mess around.
Yeah.
They were just.
You were on back roads though, right? You were like in the woods.
So we had the problem with that part of the country. Everything, they're not connected like here in Iowa where the roads are on a grid system.
Yeah, yeah.
a lot of private roads, a lot of private property nestled within the state park and the national forest.
Yeah.
So you gotta ride some pavement to do all these connectors.
Yeah.
Now, I think the one thing that we probably should do next time, well, we really couldn't because we were driving the RV, so we didn't have a vehicle. But I think if you had a vehicle and you're staying in the national forest,
Mm-hmm.
it looked like there were more roads that could connect. You could do big loops. It reminded me a lot of that loop that we did over when we rode with you guys in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Remember that? It looks just like that. You know, you have the pines.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then a lot of connector roads, you know, big forest. That's what it reminded me of. Really fast gravel.
That was Umstead Park in Durham, North Carolina. That's a nice place to ride.
Yeah.
That's
how this looked like. Some really killer hills. I mean, like you're talking 22, 23, 20. You know, I don't know if it's like, it reminded me of the East Coast. It's like they don't they don't care about grading the roads.
Yeah.
If it's a hill, they just pave it, and then they just cut it through and they just follow the surface. So it was literally, I mean, huge climbs, but very short, right? The back to back. I'd never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
And the semis, you know, I don't know, there was a sand quarry, I want to say about 10 miles from where we were staying.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the semis were going there and picking up rocks and sand and stuff and taking it wherever they were taking it.
Yeah.
It was it was quite the time. It was really good riding. The gravel was fantastic.
Yeah.
Amazing gravel once you get to it, but getting there was a whole other story.
Yeah.
And then on the second day, we decided, well, too many close calls. A couple of times we had to jump off our bikes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a couple of times we had to jump off our bikes because the semi is coming and it's trying to pass you on the blind hill. And then there's another vehicle coming. So you know who is going to be taken out.
Yeah.
It's you.
Well, you've got the radar on your Garmin or your Wahoo, right? So it shows you when cars are coming.
Yeah.
I have a mirror that I put on my helmet.
Yeah.
And I love my mirror. You've seen it.
Yeah.
Do you guys don't have mirrors, do you?
No mirrors.
So you rely on your tail light essentially telling you where and when things are.
Yeah, and and I think from what I understand how it works, if they're coming in way too hot and they're not changing lanes, it just gives you like, hey, time to go.
Bail. Time to bail out.
You gotta figure out something. And a couple of times we had nowhere to go. You know, and there's like at least a 20-30 foot drop off the road.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you'll probably be banging that pretty good. So we just jump off.
Yeah.
And they would, so like, I saw you're not even there. They just keep semis just doing the air brakes just off their way and 60 miles an hour. So it was unbelievable.
I tell you what, I started riding that with a mirror. It's like 2017. And man, if I'm on a road, even a gravel road, I'm riding, and that mirror is so awesome. It's called a take a look mirror. It's really tiny.
Is that the one that you had on your helmet?
Yeah, it's just right there, and you just kind of glance up, and you see everything behind you. What's nice is when you're behind me, I can see all the pain in your face. I can just see, and it's like, all right, now I can attack.
Now you're like, you see the guy just grimacing. You're like, this is
it. The drool coming out.
You're like, this is it. Man, that's a muscleless man.
I've started mountain bike races with that mirror on. People
that's like, want to do it.
What are you wearing a mirror on a mountain bike race? You'll see.
You'll find
out
when
you're coming, so I'm gonna gas it.
Be like you see them struggling, then you like see you later. No, I'm telling you. So let me see if I can find it. But yeah, those mirrors are invaluable. What do you say it's called?
Take a look mirror. And
Take a
I've
look.
seen other ones, and they're kind of big honking things that stick out there. And
yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
That's it right there. To those of you that are watching, that guy kind of looks like he has your beard.
Yeah.
Not as nice as yours. I see. There it is. Let's see if we can just.
Some people put them on their sunglasses. I've got that littler one, the thinner one on the right.
Yeah. This one right.
This one right there. Yeah.
The compact one.
Yeah. Of course, clipping them, you kind of almost want to have a visor or something. But
yeah.
I've modified mine and kind of put mine on my helmet with a couple of zip ties or a little bit of electrical tape. You can put them on your sunglasses, but I don't know if I like that. I never tried the sunglasses thing.
I mean, that works if you're like, if you have multiple helmets, and you just want to do the one mirror.
Yeah. But I mean, what they cost, $10, $15, $20.
Oh, not too bad.
You can put one on each helmet.
I'm telling you. I mean, even Yvonne was like, "Holy cow!"
I see a lot of people have the mirror down on their bar end,
Yeah.
And I've, test riding bikes. After I fix something at the shop, I installed a bunch and seen a bunch, and I don't know, looking down there like that, it's vibrating around. It's kind of hard to see. And
whereas if you have it here, you're already looking that way.
You're just kind of looking right there.
Yeah. It was
two things, I guess. One is, if you're riding into the sunset or sunrise and that sun is right there, it might be tough to look at the sun. What was the other issue I had with it? Your helmet, you got to kind of set your helmet and play with a little bit to get that look.
Yeah.
Every time. But if you got it on your helmet, it's kind of there. It's really easy to adjust even while you're on the fly.
Yeah.
What was the other issue? I was just thinking there was something else about it.
It's just unbelievable. But other than that, if it wasn't for the crazy riding, it would have been good.
Yeah.
But it was just, a little bit too nerve-wracking. And then the next day, we decided to go the other way. Yvonne made a different route that we tried to stay off the main road,
Mm-hmm.
And about like 3 miles into our ride, we ran into this road here. Looks like a puppy mill or something.
Yeah.
And of course, they have like a dozen dogs.
Yeah.
Just hanging out. Just hanging out in the street. And there was one of them just was, my goodness.
Yeah.
I started going riding and it's like, it's just coming after. It looked kind of like a Doberman pincher, but a mix of something, that style dog. So one that you can't easily outrun. It can probably hit 30 miles an hour pretty quickly. So I got off the bike, and as soon as I got off the bike, it stopped. And finally, after going back and forth, it kind of lost interest, and we got back. And then it's like there's like just dozens of them.
Yeah.
So we get about 1.5 miles down the road, and here comes this side by side just flying.
Yeah.
And this guy, he's like, "Hey man, did you guys just ride by those dogs?" He's like, "Those are my neighbors, and his dogs are a menace."
Yeah.
So he said that he was down helping it milk some goats, of course, Missouri stuff.
Yeah.
They were milking some goats, and he heard us yelling at the dogs. So he wanted to come out and make sure we're okay.
Oh, nice.
But he said that they would even try to bite. They would even try to bite, his the tires on his side by side by side, like big tires like this.
Yeah.
those dogs are still like trying to
I had 2 dog encounters tonight, actually, myself. Figures going uphill. It's
yeah.
like a sharp turn, and it's probably 18% grade. I mean, it was steep. I was in the granny gear just chugging along, and these dogs came out, and I was keeping an eye out because they had a sign up saying we have horses and go. I don't know. They had something about go slow or whatever, or don't spray because we have horses grazing. And these dogs came out. They didn't come out of the yard though. They just kind of barked. One barked, the other one kind of came down. The old dog looked like came down and kind of looked and
Like
he
I
just
don't have
walked
time
away.
for this.
He's like, I don't have time for this. But there was a young one there that was barking. But I got off the bike for a second because I was going uphill. There was no way I was gonna, and I didn't want to turn around and go back.
Yeah.
I feel like if you get off the bike and keep the bike in between you, I got 2 dogs, so I can take them in a fight.
Like, look here. That's what I've decided anymore. I'm like, what? I'm just gonna stand my ground.
Yeah.
This will be the last good fight I'll ever have. I'm like, let's go for it. So I just stand my ground. I'm like, because you can't outrun them, especially if you're going uphill.
Yeah, definitely uphill.
Yeah.
And then I saw towards the end of the ride, I was only a few miles away from home. Well, I was on a busier back road too, and this German Shepherd saw me and came down, and she came off the bank and out onto the road too, and I didn't know what this dog was about.
Yeah.
But she didn't see, she was wagging her tail and stuff. So I stopped and got off my bike. I didn't want to, sometimes just being on the bike and stuff spooks them, and they get weirded out by that. So she came over and I kept the bike in between me and her. And I just said, "Hey, how you doing?" I petted her and stuff. And she sniffed me but she just kept barking. And I said, "Going home,
Yeah.
good girl, going home." And she went up into the yard then. And I started riding up, and her owner came out and it's like, "Oh, she's friendly." I said, "Yeah, I know." I said hi to her already, but I'm just trying to keep
never know.
off the road. I don't want the dog getting hit by a car. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you never know.
No, yeah, exactly. You don't know if the dog's friendly or not. And we were thinking of we used to carry around like little pepper sprays,
Yeah.
And I think it's time to get some more.
I know a lot of people that have had that. I know, there was somebody in North Carolina just last summer that dog came out and like bit their leg pretty good.
Yeah.
Knocked them off the bike. And then I had another friend from up here. He was riding and he saw one dog come out and he was watching that dog. And the other one came from the other side and got him. And knocked and crashed him out. And he was laid up for a couple of months because I don't know, he broke his shoulder or I don't know, he wrecked pretty hard.
Yeah, I think there was it last year, maybe the year before? I think maybe around Bentonville or somewhere like down Arkansas there, that a lady had gone out on a bike ride and these pit bulls were just out, they had broken out of their fence or whatever and killed her.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you're by yourself and you run into some really aggressive dogs, man,
yeah,
you're gonna have to use your bike as a deterrent or something.
Yeah, you got to get loud with them and get menacing and just scare them. That's kind of what I do when I'm riding. I'll kind of wait till they get close.
Yeah.
And then I kind of steer into them a little bit and give them a like, roar,
Yeah, and then they'll be like,
sometimes they're like, yeah. But, I don't know. It's worked for me so far.
Hey, that's what I ended up doing though the other day. I think we're looking to getting some pepper spray. Like I think they have some pepper spray that's a little bit bigger that you can use.
Yeah.
That's not too big to carry, too heavy. Get that.
I've thought about that, but then now you gotta
you
gotta pull that pepper spray out with one hand.
If
And you
but
got
if
to
the
try
dog,
and spray the pepper spray with one hand while you're
Yes.
riding your bike.
yeah,
or you have to,
I think that would be like reserved for last minute when
Yeah.
they won't go away.
yeah.
I feel like if you've tried everything, yelling at them, and they're like out for blood, I think then you gotta get off your bike and get ready to get busy.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey, remember down south of Iowa City there?
yes,
There's those two, it's at S corner.
yeah.
And there's two little ones. They were just little fur balls.
Oh no,
I swear to God, they hid out in the drainage ditch at the driveway from
yes,
the
they
road
did.
driveway. 'Cause I never saw them, and then all of a sudden they were there.
Yeah, I loved. Yeah, one time I remember one time I was riding. I had just gone out by myself, and the wind was kind of strong, but it was kind of like a side wind. So I come up, I'm like, I see them. They were like close to the house,
Yeah,
and I think they couldn't hear me because of the wind.
yeah.
And so I got right in front of that driveway, and man, they just came out. But I was like, because as soon as you clear the S curve, it's if you
Yeah.
put a little bit of power down, they're not catching you.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was like last minute, it's like right there, like, no, not today. I actually have a video. Yeah, Ivan says those dogs are my buddies. And I was like, I was gone. They were trying to chase me. Good luck. I'm like, you're not catching me.
I had my friend Carter in North Carolina take me on a ride when I first moved there. He's like, I'm gonna take you on this big ride, and we did it ended up being like a 30-mile ride.
Yeah.
We're on all these back roads, and this dog comes out. And he's like, watch out for this dog. And the dog starts running down the road beside us. He wasn't coming after us. He was just running along with us. He actually crossed the road and got onto the other side of the road. He stayed off the road.
Yeah. Wow.
But he ran at one point, he like dipped into the woods. I'm like, did he leave? No, he come back out. I bet he followed us a mile and a half.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, dude, where do you live?
Hey, he was out for a ride. He was getting a ride too.
Finally, we're getting like, oh, he's been out here for a while. I'm starting to worry that he's going to get back home,
Yeah.
And Carter's like, no, he's going to stop up here. There's a big puddle up here. I bet he stops for a drink. And sure enough, he ran past the puddle and then he stopped. We're like, you want a drink? And he's like, yeah. And he went back to the puddle. I watched him. He got a drink, and they kind of like,
oh my goodness.
I'm going to go home now.
I'm telling you. Speaking of which, did you do your mountain bike race?
It's actually, I got the dates wrong. It's next week.
When you think your bike will be here?
It's supposed to be here this week, but we got plans. I'm taking a friend up to my dad's cabin.
Yeah.
So we're going up there next weekend, and it's supposed to rain anyway. So
yeah,
I think we're going to go up to my dad's camp and do some gravel riding up there.
Nice.
I'm trying to get Larry to buy a gravel bike.
Gotta get a gravel bike. Seriously.
He's a mountain biker.
Yeah.
But he's got a couple road bikes because he just keeps buying road bikes. He's not like in the gravel scene.
Yeah.
Well, he's from down in Virginia, and he's starting to know some friends down there that gravel ride, and
yeah,
like I should get a gravel bike, but he's a road guy. He's the guy that has done that Pittsburgh Dirty Dozen.
Yeah.
12 times, and
he's a road guy, huh? He needs to come.
I wouldn't call him a roadie, but he's a hill climber. That's for sure.
I'll call him a roadie. I think he's a roadie for sure.
He got second place in the Pittsburgh Dirty Dozen like 2 years ago, I think.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I think he's been in the top 10 for the last 10 years or so.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a fast guy.
And
yeah,
those hills are no joke.
No, so Yeah, I thought your bike would be here. Have you been following the Cape Epic at all?
Dude, I saw some of it, and dude, those people look wrecked.
My predictions were right though,
Yeah.
because remember I said a couple episodes ago, because people were thinking that Matt Beers and Keegan Swanson were gonna win it. They were gonna wipe the whole flow with everybody else. And now that, well, I'm like, if Nino shows up, it's gonna be a hard time bidding. And sure enough, Nino won it. And
Oh yeah.
so Keegan and Matt Beers, I don't know if, again, it's easy for us to say. I know the North American fans were like, oh, Keegan, and people are like, oh, he must be sick. But I'm like, this is a multi-day cross-country race.
Dude.
It's a whole different story from the one day, even Unbound. Let's go Unbound. You united yourself for 9.5 hours, and then, but then you got to do that again and again for what, 8 days, 8 days stage race, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it took him a little while to get fired up. Who knows? But so it was so people are shocked, but I'm like, Nino is one of the greatest mountain bikers of all time. Probably might be one of the greatest cross-country guys out there. That no surprise that he won it. Him in Colombo. So I followed it up. It was pretty good. It was good stuff. But I thought maybe you caught up on it.
No, I haven't had time to. I saw it on. I was gonna watch it on YouTube the other day, and yeah, I didn't get to.
Whoever's doing that editing, man, it's doing a fantastic time.
Yeah.
Their edits are really, really good. Yeah. And then did you see? I sent you that. Did you see Kamoot? Kamoot, I think, got sold, right? I was trying to see. So somebody sold Kamoot, but then now I think it's time to get. Have you ever used it?
No. I had my friend that I did Tour Divide with. He sent me a free introductory thing to Kamoot, like a year or so after I did Tour Divide with him, and yeah, I know it's kind of like almost like a Ride GPS or a Gaia.
Yeah, I'll say Ride with GPS for sure.
It finds routes, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I would say it's really like a really good alternative to Ride with GPS.
Yeah.
But these guys, these Bending Spoons, bought it. But it looks like to me, how these companies buy up these places, and they kind of they got him,
Yeah.
So a lot of free features are gone now.
I think the Ride GPS was like a US thing, and then the Kamoot was like a European thing.
Yeah, but people even here used it.
Yeah.
But so it was either that, and it had a lot of stuff that let's see here. I'm trying to find that. I was trying to see if I could find the article I was reading. Yeah. I think you have to buy now. Hopefully, I don't click on some weird stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess they had a lot of some free features that now you gotta buy. Everything that was buy once. You bought it once, and it was all yours to keep. Now it's a subscription.
Yeah.
So really, the only game in town now. Did they even change the name? What the hell is going on here?
You guys use Ride GPS, right?
Yeah,
When you make your routes.
yeah. You know, there's Ride with GPS.
See, one of my friends down in North Carolina, he just did his routes on Garmin Connect, which saves you a subscription to Ride GPS, you know.
I even can't find the Kamoot. Yeah, I mean, we don't pay for. I think maybe I have a premium account. I'm not sure, but you can make your routes for free in Ride with GPS.
You know me, Aria. I really don't make routes.
You know, yeah, no,
I
you don't.
I just kind of go. And was that a route did I make the route where we had to like chop through all that grass?
Yes,
You had to
the 100 miler.
Yeah,
The 100 miler. Let me see if I can show the people. We have a video.
that was a good route, even with that.
Yeah, no, that was your one and only good route.
That wasn't the only one.
That was an epic day. 100 miles,
And 100 degrees.
100 degrees, ice cream, fries. Oh, by the way, yeah, actually, I wanted to speak about this right quick here. See if we can find it. Let's see here. I want to see if we can show the people that video.
Yeah.
It's way back in our early days of Advent. There it is, right there.
When was that? Was that COVID or?
Yeah, I think so. That yeah. Let me mute this and we'll show the people. Yeah, this was insane. You had us. It was a good route, you know.
There was a little bit of road, and there was that one hill climb coming out of what was the name of the town?
There we go, guys, right there. If you're watching, if you're watching, go look it up on our channel. But that's we call it a wildlife tour. And this, remember that bridge?
Yeah.
This is why I make you. The bridge was shady. We're not even supposed. Nobody was allowed on it. We made it across.
Well, we ran into that landowner up at the other end of the thing.
Yes, that's the top down guy there. It's right there. If you're watching, yes. Can confirm that was a great route. But yeah. So that was your one and only good route. All the other routes that you had in your head, and nobody knew where we were going. We didn't know how much water we needed. Sound like, Jason, if we're gonna ride bikes today, I need a route because I am not dying of thirst again in 100-degree weather. We're trying to make connections.
You know me. I don't drink water. I don't eat. I just hold my head.
Mister, I only drank 2 bottles, and then you're screaming in bed with cramps. You know.
Yeah.
Yvonne said Jason's routes only in Jason's head, and she had this with the garage.
I made this game up in Pennsylvania before we moved to Iowa. I was in charge of leading the group ride out of the bike shop, and I'd get some friends together, and we all knew each other and stuff. I'd say, hey, let's just do this game called Adventure. And they'd say, how's that work? I said, well, we go out of town, and then everybody takes a turn picking the direction whenever we come to an intersection.
Now that would be interesting. You know,
well, I thought it would encourage people to get to know the roads, because a lot of people get in these they just rely on, like you were relying on me to navigate.
Yeah.
And I would rely on you to navigate sometimes.
Yeah.
And if the same two people are just doing the navigation, then Lindsay has no idea where she is.
Yeah. Hey, she's going along for the ride. She's going
Yeah.
along for the ride.
She's listening over there. So, I was thinking maybe if people would be able to, like, if you're tired and you don't want to go for a long ride, and it's your turn to pick the turn. Like, hey, I'm going to pick the turn that heads me home.
That's right. We're going to turn here. We're going to start heading home.
Somebody else is like, oh no, I want to go out for a long one. I'm feeling good, so they pick another turn.
Yeah. Did you see? So Iowa is trying to pass a law hands-free.
You're not allowed to ride bikes with hands.
No.
You got to ride bikes hands-free.
You're not allowed. No way. You're not allowed to drive with your phone in your hand.
Well, yeah. I mean, that should be everywhere, really.
Yeah, and I think it has a very good chance of passing, because I think the distracted driving is just.
I think it should be nationwide, really, because regardless of cyclists on the road, it's just distracted driving.
Yeah, I mean, even as to fellow motorists, if you just motorist to motorist, and the guy next to you is on their phone, they could take you out.
Yeah.
And hurt themselves in the process. So that's pretty good news to see. That's gonna, I think, help quite a bit.
So how are they going to enforce it? I guess if somebody is in an accident, is law enforcement going to then check the phone records of the person that was involved? I hope so.
My guess is they could probably look for that, right? Because before they couldn't look for that unless maybe the suspect you're drunk or something, right? But I think now they could probably look for that and be like, hey, what caused this? How did you rear-end these people in traffic that was moving at 20 miles an hour? Oh, you're on your phone, I think they'll be able to. I don't know. We'll find out.
It would be nice to chat with, a lawyer or something about the legal issues with this, because I know a lot of people that have been hit, and the cops don't even check. Like whoever did the hitting is just like, yeah, fine. They were driving too fast or something. Like, don't you check the records? Like, isn't it like Cops 101? Like, all right, why did you hit this person?
Yes.
Well, I wasn't paying attention. Well, why weren't you paying attention? Well, the bug flew in my face.
Yeah. I always never understood that part, because if you're in like a fender bender, car to car, they will do an investigation.
Yeah.
That, hey, what were you distracted? Because if you're distracted or you failed to maintain control of your vehicle, you could go to jail for that, right? So I don't understand when it's a pedestrian, a cyclist, motorcycle. A lot of times they don't look at that.
Yeah.
They use accident. I'm like, wait a minute. Treat it as you would treat a DUI or anything else.
Yeah. Person on the bike, oh, they died. Well,
yeah.
You should slow down next time. We'll give you a fine for too fast for conditions or something.
Yeah. But meanwhile, you kill this person. Yeah. So I don't understand why they never investigate those. Somebody joked around that if you want to kill somebody, just wait until they get on their bike.
Yeah, talk them into riding a bike down the road.
Yeah, and then you get away with it, because they won't investigate. Oh, unfortunate accident. They lost control of their vehicle. Yeah. Whereas if you're just driving down the street here and you lose control of your vehicle and you run into another car, they're gonna be like, "Hey, alcohol levels. Are you on drugs? Something." Yeah. So I don't get it. I don't get it. But I think with this new law, I think even just holding your phone in your hand, not even doing anything, kind of like California, Boom, ticket.
You know, they just need to enforce it, really. I mean, you can make the law, but if a cop's not going to pull you over and enforce that law, then people aren't going to, I mean, they might, there's a lot of people like you and I.
Yeah.
That, I don't want to get in trouble. I'm going to do the right thing. But there's a lot of people out there that, I don't care.
Yeah. If they catch me, I'll try it again. I'll keep sneaking it until they catch me, kind of situation.
Yeah.
But I think what I suspect they probably will do when they put it in law, they'll probably do like a bunch of stings. I know Ivana would say, like in Hawaii, they would have a cop like park like on a high point, and they have their binoculars.
Yeah,
and they're looking. You can't see them quite a ways, and they see. So they radio down. Hey, you got 2 cars coming down to you. This is the description. They're on their phone.
Yeah.
You know, next thing you know, they got the lights on. You know, a couple miles down the road, you had your phone in your hand.
What they need to do is have a plainclothes guy standing just on the sidewalk in an intersection.
Yeah,
looking at the people at the top of the red light.
They'll get so many.
We've been, moving here. I've been driving a lot more.
Yeah.
And,
spreading your fossil fuels around.
I stopped at the, going through the traffic, just going to work the other day. And like everybody's on their phone.
Yes. Yeah.
Driving along doing this.
Yeah. You gotta look at it. You gotta check Instagram.
What does everybody look on the phone for?
I don't know. I'm like,
what are you doing on the phone in the car?
You gotta check Instagram.
Seriously, you need to be on it that much.
Did you see? I was watching this Pathless Pedal on YouTube, and have you seen? I've been looking for a new shoe. What shoes do you ride in for your mountain, for your gravel? Do you use the same mountain and gravel?
So I got Ragnaroks.
Okay.
For my winter foul weather. I love the Ragnaroks.
Are those by what's the company?
45 North.
45 North, yeah. Are those big boots?
They're not the big honking ones. They're the fit. They're more of they're a boot. They're waterproof. They're a high top. Insulated, kind of insulated. They're not the big honking thing.
Okay, I see.
I like those a lot.
These guys.
Yeah.
They're waterproof, I'm assuming, right?
Those are a little bit beefier than what I have. That's the newer model. Mine aren't as beefy as that.
This is what, if I'm going to become a winter rider, I need one of these.
Yeah, that's mine is an older model. It's like 4 years old, and it's got like more of a road mountain bike shoe. It's not as beefy as that. That's pretty beefy sole on there now.
I do like the white one better than the black one. The white one looks like,
and in the pro Peloton, you got to wear white shoes.
I would have used these in Texas.
Yeah,
a couple of weeks ago.
So I have those for the winter stuff. For mountain bike, the one there on the left.
This guy right here.
Yeah, what's that?
Yeah, that's it.
That's what I have. What was the other one? That was a different version of.
Yeah, it was also a Ragnarok also.
Well, what was the difference? It was the
Ragnarok. This is the boot, and I think it's just their shoe. Because this one they make a point to put boot on the end of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then my mountain bike shoe is it's a Shimano mountain bike.
Yeah.
Double boa. It's the R something. I forget what it is. I've had those for I don't know 5 or 6 years now. I like those a lot too. They're still holding up nicely. They're like brand new. And then I have a like a gravel spring fall shoe that I wore today. It's the Lake MX 35 or something, or 30 something or other.
Yeah, I've been trying to, see if I can. So this is pretty good. And then there was a company I saw. Let me see if I can find the what were they called?
Lake came out with another like a gravel specific race boot.
Maybe I might have seen a post on that.
I like that. And then I sent you one. I forget the name of it. There was a really cool shoe.
I do remember that. You sent it to me a while back, right?
Yeah.
I was trying to find out. Oh no, this is not what I want. Lake County.
My Lake shoes, I like them a lot. They're big. They're just a hair size big for me. I should have got the smaller one, but I thought I would be wearing them kind of winterish and I'd have a thicker sock on, and I just got the size too big. They jumped a size. They were going like, 41, 42, 43. And then when it got to 44, it jumped from 44 to 46 or something. And I ended up with the 46, and I was afraid if I went to 44, it was going to be too small, but that's a slick shoe right there. I like that one right there.
That's sweat though. Like, I don't know, sweat. You're going to be like, it's going to be hard to keep clean.
Yeah. That's a race shoe for,
right.
I mean, what's that? Are they all suede?
I think that's some kind of material. I'm not, it's kind of like a suede material. I don't know how that would age.
Yeah.
But let's see, there was it's called
Lake is quality stuff, man. That stuff lasts.
So I had the rougher shoes. So these guys are pretty so the only problem, so these guys, their mission is to make foot shaped shoes, right?
Yeah.
Instead of the pointy shoes, because people get feet issues with those pointy cycling shoes. So these guys, let's see if we can get a better picture. But that's the science behind strong feet must have space for your toes and optimal force.
What's the name of this company again?
This is called Strong Feet Athletics.
Strong Feet Athletics. Okay.
Yeah. And, so you can see that their shoe definitely is shaped like a foot instead of, these pointy shoes that are all like, whose foot's pointy? The only problem, I have with these shoes, they look nice. The only problem is no hike a bike.
No, is that a road shoe or is that a?
It will do both road and SPD.
But is that like their road version or is that their?
No. They have one shoe. It will do both. It will do the road cleats and the mountain bike cleats. Because you see how it's shaped there.
Yeah.
You have your road cleats, and then you have the.
I just didn't know if they had if that was just, some people have a mountain bike shoe and some people have a road shoe, and they've been putting the road and the gravel cleat adapters on the shoes because some people are putting road pedals on gravel bikes,
And they have been. Yeah, I've seen a few people do that. So this shoe is nice, but it's $300. $300.
Yeah.
But the problem though is, I feel like that carbon sole, man, you better not get off your bike. And I also don't know the flex in it.
What I like about that is the wide box.
Yeah.
Lindsay has bunions, and for people with bunions, that might be something to consider.
And I think that's their whole mission, is to make sure that the shoe works for you. Yeah. So it's pretty interesting. I just don't know about the flex because inevitably, unless you be like, all right, this will be my gravel shoe, and I know I'm not gonna get off the bike. It's gonna be minimal getting off the bike. And then, if you're gonna do mountain bike, you get your mountain bike shoe, and then just suffer through the pain on that. But Specialized. So when these guys came out and announced $600 for their shoe, Specialized also released foot shipped.
What shoe do you run? What do you got on your feet?
I am running with Ruffers Power Weave. Ruffer Power Weave. I got a little tiny keyboard here. It's very hard to type on.
Yeah. That sounds like a personal problem.
Let's see here. Yeah, right here. This has been a really good shoe. The problem with this shoe, they did not reinforce the toe box.
Okay.
You know how like these guys were just looking at their, strong fit has like a rubber on the front. Ruffer did not put anything there. So most of the shoes feel pretty good, but this front is all tore up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't look good. But the sole still, I think it's the best sole I've had in a gravel shoe ever.
Yeah.
Period. But not. Between the stiffness and the walkability, they did something right. My color looks like it's no longer available for sale. Mine was an orangish color, kind of like the color of that sole.
Oh yeah, I've seen yours before.
Yeah, so they kind of tore up. But let's look at Specialized foot shaped shoe here. Because people are complaining about the price of the one that we just looked at, and Specialized came up with theirs. This is their foot shaped shoe here. And look at the price on that bad boy.
Oh.
$600.
Oh.
All right.
What's it look like on the bottom? Is that a road shoe?
I think it's a road shoe for now, would be my guess.
Well, so that's a road shoe.
So of course they had to say it increases it gives you 7 watts to your FTP.
Yeah, minimum. Minimum 7 watts.
I'm like that's gonna make a difference to me.
What do they weigh? 2 grams,
Yeah.
negative 2 grams.
Negative 2 grams. They're like, okay, maybe now we're talking. It's like, come on. But that's it. That's it. That's
is that the only shoe you have then? Just that one?
I do have Bounce, their mountain bike one. I have that. I do have the Physique, their mountain bike shoe that I think I had it when you're here. It has the sock on the top.
Yeah,
a real nice sole. It's very good for mountain biking. I don't like it for gravel for longer distances. It's too soft. It's good, I think, for mountain biking. Perfect, getting off the bike when you can't clear some stuff.
Yeah,
but that's the shoe I wore in Texas.
Yeah,
and I thought it was waterproof, but it's not.
Yeah,
it will resist the splashes pretty well, but after a while, it's just it just gets blasted. Like my left foot I could hear the water swishing inside my shoe.
So that mountain bike shoe I have,
yeah,
is only my 3rd pair of mountain bike shoes since 2001.
Really?
I think I started clipless in 2001, and I bought a pair of, I think they were Diodoras, and I had those for like 4 or 5 years. Velcro top, and that I wore the shit out of those shoes, and they lasted pretty good. Then I got a pair of Pearl Izumi shoes, Velcros. They weren't like super expensive ones, and they were a mountain bike shoe. I wore those things I had to have had them for 10 plus years because I wore those on Tour Divide.
Oh, I think
Both
I remember
times.
those shoes.
Both times. Like they were worn out when I took them on the first time, and I thought, well, and then because I only went down to Butte, and then I went back the second time. I thought I'm just gonna wear these again. They're comfortable. I don't have to worry. Like I'll slop in the mud with them. I don't care.
Yeah.
Dude, those things
Wow.
lasted forever. Then I just recruited them to. They were just the trainer shoes, whenever I just had them out in the garage, and whenever I got on the trainer, I just slapped them on, velcroed them up, and clicked in and went. And then I got nice mountain bike shoes for my, and I still rode mountain bike shoes for my road bike too. I haven't done the road pedals yet. I do have a pair of Scott road shoes
Yeah.
that I got off of Flat Tire way back when we moved. I had road pedals on them for a hot minute. And then the pedals, I sold the bike and I sold the pedals. So I sold the clips. And then I thought, I'm going to just get a new pair of road pedals at some point. And then I never did. They're still sitting there, like brand new shoes. And I'm just,
wow. Because you just, oh man.
I haven't decided what kind of road pedal I want. And I think what I might do is, what I've been telling myself I want to do is get a pair of the Garmin power pedals in the road version and just do that. And then I thought,
you should just get the Quark power meter. Now, when you do the Garmin power pedals, are you going to do double-sided? They almost say it's like if you're going to get the power meter, you got to go double-sided. They say it's just useless to almost go single-sided power meter.
No, I've heard that it's not worth going both sides.
No. Absolutely not.
Why?
So what I've heard is there's a lot of, when it's just reading your single leg power, it's just not very accurate. It's not enough data sets. And also depending on what you're doing with your left leg, accelerating and all that stuff, it just doesn't capture everything. It doesn't give you the whole picture. So they say if you're gonna get the pedal, spend the extra money. If you really want power data, spend extra money and get dual-sided.
Yeah, I've heard opposite that.
No,
I've heard that the data is not as like it's that extra data for a guy like me.
No. Hey, my Quark does. It takes, it gives you both feet. Well, and I've been, training with
that Quark is just stuck on that bike,
which is fine. I have Quark on my other bike. I have Quark on my other bike too.
Yeah.
So I'm good to go.
Now, I think that's that crank, right? You have to get that crank.
Well,
that's not something you attach to any crank.
Then no, you have to get a SRAM crank.
Yes.
Now they've made obviously this the new cranks now. You just attach the power meter to it, to the new cranks.
But
remember when it was the one piece?
Yeah, but is that retrofit to older cranks?
No.
See, there's the problem.
If you already so if you have an older crank, yes, it will only work with an older crank that you didn't have power meter on, that didn't come with the power meter attached. The one that came with the one attached to it, that's it. Once you wear the teeth out, you're done. Terrible design, honestly. That's why they went away from it. But I think you might be able to fit it on a regular SRAM crank. I think it just does those four bolts. So I think you might be able to fit it on there.
So my road bike is an old 10-speed SRAM red crank.
Yeah.
But it's a 5-bolt.
Oh, yeah. Spider's not going to work with that.
Yeah. And then I have my other, well, my mountain, well, whatever my new mountain bike, I don't know what it's going to be. SRAM. My Krampus is SRAM XX1.
Is your mountain bike coming with SRAM on it? SRAM power meter on it?
Yeah. No, it's not going to have a power meter.
Oh, you got to get the power meter on there, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
You got to. You know, you should see my numbers when I go mountain biking. You know,
I don't know that I want to know my numbers.
I kind of like it. And I think for me it's been good because everything goes back on my Wahoo training thing.
Yeah.
And then Wahoo is always able to serve me up the right workouts based on how hard I pushed, even if I was out on the trail. So I kind of like the continuity there.
What I need is SRAM, who owns Time.
Yeah. All right.
To make some Time power pedals.
They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it.
That's what they need to do.
Yeah, they need to do that, but they already have that in their cranks. And I think my guess is they sell more cranks than pedals. You know,
well, they're not selling them to me because I run Time pedals and I'm not going to change. And if I go to a power meter, I would end up probably doing the Rode Garmin power pedals.
Or you can do the 4i.
But that's changing the crank as well.
No, so 4i, I think as long as your crank is flat on the inside, you ship it to them and they put it on there for you. And then you just get back shiny new power meter ready to rock and roll.
Yeah. I don't know. That sounds pricey.
I don't think it is. 4i, I don't think it's very expensive. I think it's some kind of
if you send if you send 4 sets of cranks to them, it might get pricey.
Oh yeah, that will probably get pricey. Let's look at them.
Because what would I do? I would have to have it on my mountain bike. I would have to have it on my road bike. And then I would have to have it on at least one of the 2 gravel bikes.
So let's see. I don't even know. They don't even do SRAM. They do SRAM. There you go. So then you can do you got the XS1 carbon. You know, there you go.
They're just putting it on you're just getting a new. Are you getting a new crank?
No, you send in your crank and put it on there.
You just send in the non-drive side.
Yeah. I think you can get it on both. And then, look at that. It even has the Apple Find My in the crank. You know?
What is it?
It has the Apple Find My. So if your bike gets stolen, you know, you can be able to track it back. So that's pretty cool. I've never seen anybody else do it that way. But yeah, so you can get this one. This is a power meter factory installed.
So what do the bike thieves do then? They just put a magnet against that and that shuts that off, or?
I don't think so. I think the problem with the Apple's Find My, if the thief has an iPhone also, and it's following them around, I don't know the duration before it tells them it's following them around, but eventually it will tell you, hey, there's an AirTag that's following you. So I don't know that the duration before it notifies them. But yeah, so 4i. So and let's see what the price was. Precision. So this one is $500. Okay, so kind of pricey. But
that's $2,000.
That's $1,000 right there. That's $1,000. You know, might as well just get the Quark and be done with it.
But it won't be on. I can't put it on my road bike.
Yeah, that's true. So
I don't
it's going to be the Garmin power pedals. Looks like that's it.
I look at power when I'm on the trainer because I've got the Wahoo kicker, and when I'm out riding, I would like to see power, I guess, but I haven't wanted to see it enough to spend that money.
Yeah. I think for me, since I'm running the Shram family, it's just been easier to just add this,
Yeah.
quad one and be done with it,
Yeah, you've got newer stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So it
than
just,
me. And maybe if I would change up the ECR's cranks,
yeah.
but they're already XX1s.
Yeah.
So I guess, and those aren't, I guess the cork would fit on there because it would just go on to the, because it's the, is it cinch? I don't know. I forget the name of it now.
The spine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The chain ring bolts onto the back of the crank arm there.
Yeah. Yep. Did you see? Did I send you this or not? The company is called Mountain Tamer. It has a 4x1. Let's see. I don't know if I sent it to you or not. You can get a 4x1 up front. Unbelievable. Let's see here. I think it's this one here. It might be it. No, that's not it.
Oh, that looks like a sweet bike right there.
No, you don't want that.
Oh my gosh. That tames the mountains, all right.
$5,000 for that.
It only costs $5,000 to tame the mountains.
I'm trying to find where is it? But it was crazy. It had 4x1. You could actually go as far as 5 chain rings up front.
Okay.
Let's see if I can find it. I gotta find this for you guys.
And one cog in the back.
I think it's just the one.
And what's the reason for this?
To tame the mountain. Mountain Tamer 4x1 drivetrain. I can't find it.
Well, I think
Yeah, right there.
I think if you need that many more gears, then you should do opinion.
I wanted to see the picture of it. It was absolutely, there we go. Let's see here. There we go. Let's see if we can find the picture. Where is it? But so you can use these little splines and stuff to add, to. Where is it? I saw a picture of it.
Is it for tandems?
No, I think you can just put it on a regular bike.
Oh,
there you go, right there. I can't zoom in, but look at that.
That's called a granny.
One,
a great
two,
granny
three,
gear.
four.
That's a great granny gear.
And
that, what is the tooth count on that little one?
I don't. Let's see.
18.
my camera just died on me or something. See here.
Technical difficulties here at Mixed
We'll
Surface
bring it back.
Podcast.
We'll bring it back.
Is there anybody on the chat? Is anybody talking to us? Is anybody paying attention to us at all?
Yvonne was on here earlier. There we go. Yeah, so I don't know how many teeth were on the little, the small feller, but that's it right there.
You
I
better
don't want
have,
to hear you saying you can't go up any hill. So
yeah, you better have good balance because that's geared so low you might just fall over.
you
can't
get man, but just think about it, some of those times into a divide, man, you can just spit.
Yeah, it's going to take you a day and a half to get up one of them too.
You know,
Just
you'll be
do
like,
120 cadence to do 3 miles an hour up a hill.
I honestly don't know where, but it's there. And I think you have the option to do 5. Unbelievable, right?
Get opinion.
So it says the 16-tooth chainring is not compatible with the Mountain Tamer triple.
Send that to Jacob. Tell him he needs to put that on the.
I should send it to them. Yeah. So yeah, they sell everything you need to get your crank up to speed. You know, unbelievable. But I think you need that. I think you need that.
Hey, I tried those Schwalbe G1 tires today. I put those on my bike. I like them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think I probably had too much air in them.
Pretty fast.
Oh yeah, they rode really well. And that climb I did today was a little wet and sloppy.
Yeah.
In spots, and I didn't spin. Very rocky. A lot of rocks. Wow. I'm starting to wonder if, I got the 45s.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to wonder now that maybe I should be jumping up into like the 1.9 or the 2.0 tire for those type of things.
I've been liking the extra volume, man.
Well, for out here, the gnarliness of some of these trails, it might be worth it.
Yeah, especially because you guys have a lot of rocks and stuff right up that way, huh?
Yeah. That trail I went up today I had it on.
Yeah.
What, InstaFace a month or two ago, and it's really rough. It's a mountain bike trail, really.
Yeah.
But I rode the ECR up because I thought, when you get over the top, it's gravel, and then there's some road, and then back over, and there's road over that way too. So there's no sense in riding them out. If I'm going to go up and then come back down, I'll take the mountain bike. But alas, I still don't have a mountain bike yet. It'll be here this week.
Yeah, I you gotta get that mountain bike. Yeah, I think Yvonne's the only one in chat. We had some people watching, but people had dropped off, and she just says she didn't know anything about power meters. But what we need to get.
Are we not entertaining enough?
I think we're entertaining. See, now that the weather is nice, people are staying out riding their bikes longer.
Oh yeah.
Just out there, well, it was cold here today.
Yeah, it's chilly here, and it's going to be 50s for the next week, and then next week it's supposed to warm up a little bit, but we're gonna get weather, rain and stuff. It's supposed to snow Wednesday, maybe a little bit.
Friday here is going to be 75 degrees.
Oh, so it'll be 70 on Saturday or Sunday for us then.
Yeah. It's going,
because our weather's a day behind you. Whatever you get, we get like 2 days later.
2 days later. So I think we're going to go, and Jake and I are going to get out there and Friday, hopefully, and get in some miles.
Yeah.
Enjoy the weather. It's going to be windy, but doesn't matter when you have watts for days, right? You can just push through that wind like a freight train.
Yeah.
Steam engine.
I'm going to get some when we go up to camp. I'm going to get some video of camp. Yeah. The camp riding.
That's right. Now that you have a cutting edge oxygen can.
Like I said, let's see what Larry wants to do. He can either ride my felt, or he could ride my ECR, which I think he'd fit on the felt a little bit better because he's a little bit shorter than me.
Yeah.
And then the bike shop has actually offered him a Warbird if he wants to try it out.
Nice.
So
might as well take him up on it.
Yeah.
Kangaroo also.
I've been telling him that, maybe he needs to look into the Cervelo Aspero.
Oh,
What
The
was the
tire
other
clearance
one?
on that is not very good.
What's
I
that?
don't think. I don't think the tire clearance is very good on those Severo. The Savella.
Yeah. He's got a road mentality, so I don't know that he's going to want to go super wide, but I figure if he can get a 45 on there,
Oh yeah, he might be like, oh, it's all
that'll
about.
more than him. More, we've also looked at the Santa Cruz,
Yeah,
space and all these names today. I don't know.
I'm trying to see. Let's look at the specs on this. Let's look at all. To me, any more minimum of 45 mil for tire clearance is what I'm thinking. Let's see here. Seat posts, brake rotors, chain and crankset, wheels. 40 mil on the front. Tires, 40 Cs. They're hiding their numbers.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Let's look at tire clearance. Let's see. Is it showing up? No, I don't see tire clearance. They're hiding their numbers. That to me means. Let's look. Let's yeah, let's see. No mention of it. Anyway, shall we shut it down?
Sure.
Yvonne was wondering if you can ride from home or do you have to drive
To where?
to work?
I could ride.
No. She's like, can you drive from home? Or can you ride? I think just to do a bike ride, or do you have to drive somewhere?
No, I can leave the house and ride somewhere. We're out
How
in the
many
farm.
miles before you get on gravel?
Well, I mean that road that I went up today is only like 2 miles away, 3 miles away.
Oh, okay, not bad.
But it was that's like a gravel mountain bike climb. And then there's trails and gravel roads up there that I haven't yet explored. And
that's why you need to ride with GPS.
There's a lot to check out up there. When we get into living into the new house, it'll be about the same. I'll be able to leave the house and head up to the mountain and get lost. But there will be, I think once I get up on top of the mountain, there'll be a lot of gravel to ride up there. Interspersed with some road.
Yeah. That's why you need the ride with GPS so you can
check
or
the Kamoot
stuff. Now every time you go out there, you hit new stuff all the time.
Or the Kamoot.
Well, Kamoot looks like you're gonna have to pay for everything.
Kamoot is kaput.
Yeah, I think we can say I think Kamoot is kaput. I don't know if those guys, some of the guys that were working there, I think they were doing a pretty good job. But once you get bought out, and they got the place, they cut the stuff, so. Yeah, I think Kamoot's on its way out, which is going to be sad because now we'll only have Ride with GPS will be the only kind of open source. Still has a lot of free stuff, and then Strava, everything is you got to pay.
Yeah. Well, Garmin Connect, you can find routes on Garmin Connect, I think.
Yeah, but people don't use it as much, right?
No, they don't.
And also the problem with Garmin Connect, if you have a third party, I think you can exploit. But the problem is, it's not easy to copy a route from. So with Kamoot, you connect your Garmin, you connect your Wahoo, you connect your Hammerhead, and you just go there and you share with Hammerhead, share with Garmin, share with Wahoo, and you turn on it, the route's already there on your head unit.
Yeah.
Whereas with Garmin, they want to force you to be in the ecosystem, to use their watch, to use their GPS.
Yeah.
So they don't willingly let you export that route.
It's always a little bit tough for me to get the route from Ride GPS to Garmin and to my device.
Well,
It's
well,
always like I feel like I've had times where it just pops right over. Oh, it just pops right
yeah,
over, and then there's always that one time where like, why isn't it
yeah,
going? What am I
yeah,
not doing wrong here?
yeah. They have kind of, I think, on the Ride with GPS side, they've kind of cleaned that up quite a bit. Now, if you go to your Ride with GPS and connect your Garmin Connect account there,
Yeah,
then you can just sign in, and I think I'll have to check, but then you just sign in and it will give you an option. If you find a route, you like
yeah,
send to Garmin, and it will send that. It will be in your pin routes.
yeah. I don't know.
You know,
Carol told me years ago. She goes, "You got to put it in your pinned routes and just do that." And
yeah.
why is it this hard?
I think the problem is everybody is trying to force the users to stay in that system, right?
Yeah,
They want you using the Garmin Connect website to make the routes, because if you can make your routes and route with GPS, now maybe you'd be tempted to use another GPS for your navigation, right?
yeah,
So they want to. I think for me, they try to make it hard to keep people, kind of like what Apple does, right?
yeah.
They
I get it.
make everything work so well if you have an Apple device. If you're not an Apple system, it's gonna be it's gonna be hard to use your services elsewhere.
Yeah,
So that's why I try to anymore for my writing stuff. I try to use apps that I know work on all platforms. That
yeah,
way, if I have to jump ship because so and so is wanting to charge X, Y, and Z, I'm out, moving over here. And I know, for example, one of the things that we talk about, this guy, right? The
yeah,
watch. You have all your training metrics in there, heart rate, HRV, body, all that stuff is but if you want to move to a new watch, you're gonna start all over again
yeah.
because they're not letting you export that stuff.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
I get it. I don't like it, but I get it.
No, I don't like it either. I'm like, it's like, man, so like it's like I bought it. Let me use it the way I want to use it.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, the Hammerhead, then we'll close it out. The Hammerhead released an update now on. I can add the. Have you heard of the app called Epic Ride Weather?
No.
So it's pretty cool. Let's see here. Well, let's show the viewers.
Does it show you the weather while you're riding?
Yeah, the wind. Epic.
Well, it's easy. Whenever you and Yvonne make a route, you just go into the wind for on the way out, and then you go into the wind on the way back.
That's right.
It's like always into the wind.
Forest, like we did a ride that was like that, I feel like. But yeah, so this is the website, Epic Ride Weather. But so they added a field now that you can add the extension on the Hammerhead Karoo, and then as you're riding, you connect it with your account, and you add your route, and it tells you the wind.
It says, "Stop, turn around. The wind is now in your face."
But I could see that being nice when in a race.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, we're about to get in the headwind. I'm gonna attack here, right?
Oh.
So I could see that being useful to. I know, like for me in a way, it was kind of nice to have when I tested it out when we were in Missouri last week, and it worked pretty well. It knows everything, knows where the wind is coming. It'll tell you where the wind is gonna be when you turn and stuff. So I could see that being very good if you're in a race.
Yeah.
And you're like, you want to put, oh, I'm overheating. Okay.
You're talking about tech. That's getting you all hot and bothered, huh?
I know. I know. I don't know. This thing has been overheating the last couple of times. I don't know what's going on with it. All right, brother. Let's
Hey.
shut it down.
Peace out.
Can you hear me?
I can still hear you. Are we shut down?
Yeah. And let me turn it on. All right, people. Thank you for tuning in. Quick shout out. We're gonna close it right quick. The camera is overheating. I'm not sure what's going on. I apologize for the tech malfunctions. Yeah, but we'll be back again next week for another live episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's always live. We're
Correct.
having live.
All right. Leave us comments, questions. Jump in with us. So it's always live.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's end the stream here. Let's jump on and end the live stream. End stream.